to be able to set up their three-point shooting.
Blue Devils open up their ACC tournament as the defending champs. They won it last year and then follow it up with a regular season championship for the first time in 13 seasons. And Riley Nelson will pull up and hit the jumper. Here's Rachel Rose. She and Maya Moore playing through injuries today. Russ will try again and knock it down. She's made more threes than twos this year. Clemson safely into the field with their best season in a couple of decades as Moore comes up short. Demira Hines will try and keep things close in the lane today, along with Raven Thompson, and there's Fournier for three.
Fournier has made that kind of mentality, and then they know personnel very well. Their schemes are excellent.
Corner three is good from Mayer, the senior from Boston.
Well, Duke is making jump shots early.
Good sign for the Blue Devils, out to the 8-3 lead. One bucket so far for Clemson and make it two. And there's
Duke doing a good job right here, getting a piece of the gap, drawing help. You're really not supposed to help on the strong side corner on penetration, but Clemson does. And boy, did Rose play well yesterday.
Boy, and she had to, because Moore was in foul trouble early, and then Mia exploded in the second half for Clemson. Nice find inside, Rose to Hines. Here at the ACC tournament quarterfinal action. Jordan Wood inside Ariana Robertson for two.
Really great flash.
Tore off on that 17-game winning streak, their longest in a couple of decades. Tiana Mayer out of the timeout hits a triple. That's already the third here early on for the Blue Devils.
Oh, Mayer does a great job of relocating off the double team. As soon as she sees it, she moves into the vision.
I think the big answer that Duke fans are looking for, Debbie, is how do they respond to the two late season losses to Clemson and North Carolina? Best run ever in the ACC tournament. Here's the Tigers. Nice move to the bucket for Taylor Johnson-Matthews.
Great job of rejecting the screen. Good set by Poppy. Coach Poppy over there has had a heck of a year coaching his team.
His biggest win in the regular season was against this Duke team as Nelson drops one. Jackson will take over the point here with Mayer out of the game right now, getting some attention on the Duke bench. Fournier,
wow.
Look out, she's knocked down a couple.
Yes.
Haven't scored now in over 3 minutes. Big reason why, 4 turnovers during that stretch, and there's Rose on the drive.
See, and Poppy's looking at
through the first quarter of play. Fournier, quadruple team. That allowed Thomas to get in there for the rebound.
Yeah, that's where the length and size of Duke is an issue for Clemson. Really playing with almost 4 guards on the floor. Holland Harris is kind of a hybrid who doesn't get a lot of minutes yet.
Let's see if they start pounding it inside a little more this second quarter to the Blue Devils. Clemson, meanwhile, heavily reliant on the three and have needed to start some dribble drive to open up some lanes.
Just can't over-penetrate.
Shot clock winding down, Cone.
You got to hit him in the pocket.
Mayer thought about it again. She's hunting early. Here's Thomas, mid-range, good. 13 of the 19 Duke shots, Debbie, have been outside the lane.
Isn't that interesting that they're a jump shooting team to start the game? I really thought they were going to pound it inside. They still have that weapon in Toby Fournier available to them to pound it inside.
Blue Devils now with their biggest lead, and that was short-lived. The three is good. And avenge one of their 2 regular season losses in the conference. Mayer, open three. Good ball movement for the Blue Devils. See if it stays that way on a switch. It does not. They are struggling to get open looks, and there's a block for Wood. Mayer tried to save it. Fournier leaves it off for Jackson. A little 2-man game. Nice pick and roll. Toby for 2.
ISO Fournier.
Yeah, got Morgan Lee in the ball game now. And Toby wide open. Jackson knew exactly where to find her. Final 2 minutes of this first half. Rose to Lee. And Morgan gets the deuce.
Now Morgan Lee's going to be a...
Lee. Knocked loose by Fournier. And down on the deck is Thomas.
Numbers.
Jackson back to Toby for the layup. All 5 on the floor can score for Duke. Mayer will make the decision. Ball in her hands, off the cross, floats it.
I mean, you had a foul to give.
Thomas, the follow is good.
Clemson had fouls to give, I would have fouled. Or low, flatten it out, drive, and then allow your bigs to board it. 38-19, Beth, what a showing by, well, Jess, they have to stretch out the Duke defense. They are just collapsed in the gaps, and they haven't made enough shots to stretch Duke. It's a mindset.
Jackson, nice ball fake to the perimeter, and she'll take it herself for the lay-in. Fournier already has a pair of threes. She's been way short on her last 2, but there's Thomas with the rebound and the putback. 4 minutes of this third quarter. Still without a free throw attempt, and there's Rachel Rose to break through.
You know, there was a game earlier in the ACC between Duke and North Carolina in Cameron where North Carolina did not shoot a free throw. I have not seen that before. You think we're going to see it twice?
Boy, nobody's, well, maybe UConn, but not many teams are hotter than North Carolina of late. We're going to see them coming up later tonight against Virginia Tech. Robertson with a catch inside. North Carolina had a huge day yesterday, even though they didn't play. They will benefit greatly from...
Played so well yesterday, did Clemson, in their win.
Mayer steps towards the rim. Thomas, another offensive rebound. Delaney Thomas going to work on the glass.
Duke averages 13 offensive rebounds a game. Right now, they're at 8. Make that 9.
Hannah Cone lost her footing. Duke with numbers if they push. Wood finds Fournier. Rejected by Moore. Swooping in to get the block.
See how everybody's hugged up on their player? Nobody is helping. Not able to go, but they got better on offense because Riley Nelson got put in the lineup. So there was a good change there, some due to injury, but some due to...
Mayer checks the clock. And I didn't think she got it off in time. No good. Anyway. Nelson, transition 3. They only scored 8 points in that third quarter, but defensively they held Clemson to just 9.
Neither team was an offensive explosion in the third quarter.
Well, the regular season upset for Clemson was 53-51. And good follow-up there by Moore after Wood blocked her first shot. Can they put some pressure on the Blue Devils here early in this fourth quarter?
Can you get 3 stops, 3 scores, then you get a little game pressure on Duke. And they have really slowed the tempo down.
Fournier, no. Gets her own miss. Will try again and got it.
Impressive. Again, I mentioned it earlier. Hines now with only 1 personal foul. She's got to stay tough in there.
Here she is with a catch. Out to Cone for 3. Way off. Missed on the second chance. Mayer kept the pivot foot down to find Nelson in the short corner. Here's Mayer on the inbounds. Looking for the shooter. Jackson, no, and Robertson is there.
Well, Gail Gestencourt took Duke to 4 Final Fours in 2 championship games.
And it hasn't happened since, so they're trying to end a 20-year Final Four drought. Ooh, those were some teams with
Oh man, that was some fun.
Georgia Schweitzers and Elena Beards and Mo Curry, and how about two-time tournament MVP Isis Tillis? It's a blast from the past. Good change of pace from Cone.
Don't forget Vicky Krapel while you're going through all the list of greats.
Was there a better shooter than she?
I think Duke has shot 4 air balls in the second half. I mean, like, I'm not sure that's the shot. You know, Coach Lawson's still teaching over there because you got to have a bigger vision about what you're trying to do here. And I also appreciate Sean Poppy's demeanor, who's pretty animated most of the time, who is taking on that professor look over there about his team, still coaching and teaching because they know they got more games to play.
Yeah, I don't think, do you see any changes in their status? I mean, they're an NCAA tournament team. They're probably, you know,
well, Texas
gonna
right
get
now.
interesting. Texas, LSU, Vanderbilt, I think. Whoever can do the best. And then for Texas, well, if you can make a run and beat South Carolina, then you may be the overall 3 seed and get a chance to stay in Fort Worth for a regional.
Geography and fan support.
Yes.
Wouldn't you want to see Texas in Fort Worth?
I don't see why they wouldn't put Texas on one side and TCU on the other.
But then you're going to send South Carolina to Sacramento.
Then you got to go to Sacramento. Yep.
Hand off right here. Hines in drop coverage. They'll regroup.
Yep, they're going to be back in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2019, and Fournier with an and one opportunity. Don't forget, coming up next over on ACC Network, the 4-5 matchup, Notre Dame and NC State.
Again, Demir Hines creating some space inside. Good shot fake.
Boy, the fundamentals for Rose are on point.
They really are. You know, we got an early post up, missed Fournier.
Toby wanted the ball.
She hasn't caught it in that spot on the floor much today.
Final minute of our first quarterfinal here at the ACC tournament. And the #1 seed looking to advance to the semis.
How about a running trap by Clemson?
Three-pointer is good from Moore.